Hola. Happy Wednesday. I have no plan of what I'm going to draw today, which could be fun, because that's pretty much how I do everything. It's just I usually don't film it. So it's maybe a little bit different, a little bit clunkier to my brain until I get used to it. But again, I think I'm going to sketch. Maybe I'll sketch and practice some gouache again. Maybe this time not on a watercolor block. Let me go ahead and get the little background music going there. So I like this. I wanted to show you this book, although I don't remember what it is anymore. I know it's a Strathmore, but I believe it is like 120-pound paper or something like that. I don't know. No. It's like 180 pounds. It's very thick and durable. So it's a cool sketchbook to sketch in and practice gouache. I don't know how well I'd be able to capture it if I were to use this. I guess it could be okay. Again, still kind of just testing stuff out, so whatever. The third stream, it's still ain't polished, man. I probably could do the sound a little bit better too. I just like this lavalier mic. It's very easy, I feel like. So yeah, I mean, like, this could possibly work if I ever wanted to film this, but I do have different cameras for different things. So I guess technically though, if I wanted to, I could just maybe even set the camera on top of the book. It would film it pretty good. It's cool. Anywho, I already said I was gonna stop saying that. You start within the first 3 minutes. So what I'm thinking just for today is, sorry, sometimes I've already drawn stuff. This is from a while ago. I don't even know if I like this per se, but I'm gonna mess with it. So it's kind of cool. Let me see though. No, I think I'm good. No, I do need I use this white pencil to sketch on this. So this is just for the sake of gouache practice. I was doing some gouache on black, basically to practice for sketch covers, stuff like that. So I just kind of started with this style I always used for many years. A friend of mine once coined it wild style portraiture, which I kind of like. That's pretty cool. Let me see something. Artificial light is always kind of weird, but I think with everything being black, it needs to be like shifted. Kind of weird how it works there, but it doesn't like glow here. Anyway, so I'm just gonna draw a little something, give this dude mouth here. This isn't really that dynamic, but it's fun. I will just sometime hop on and just draw only. It's literally call a coffee and a draw. But to me, I don't know. Painting is drawing, sort of. Back this up a little bit. Let me show you the document Cam's base. pretty fun. All right, so anyway, make sure this is going. It appears it is. Yep, Appa. Yep. I do have some other stuff. Kind of excited. I know I'm supposed to be drawing, and I will be. From my test run, I might do this. I just felt it kind of weird since we didn't really start with this to finish it. This was a gouache I started on Monday on a different channel before I had to switch everything up. So I'm pretty excited to do some of these because I got some. Gosh, I forget. They're either Copic or Copic markers. I've always wanted them. I've always used kind of cheap alcohol markers. So I've got some sketch covers sketched up too already that need to be colored, but at this moment I'm not really. I'm in a gouache mood, a gouache vibe. Oh, here it is. I can't pull it out. Never mind. I was gonna show you this Daredevil. I'm like itching cover or color, but it's actually behind here. Maybe I can get it anyway. I don't know why I'm showing you this, but I wanted to. Now I get to brass tacks. I'm like excited to color this dude because I just love how it looks. It's like so weird. Did the Johnny Larson exaggeration because he's always knocking everyone around with his hands, you know. So just goes biceps, hands, no forearms. He's just rocking it. Whatever. That's gonna be a fun one. I'll color on here, I'm sure. So anyway, and then I did do some of my earlier gouache was on sketch covers, and I'll probably just finish them streamed, even though the beginning of them was not filmed. Like this Raven, like I have to fix her hood, like it's too tight, it looks goofy. I don't know. Then again, she has magic. Maybe she can just account for her hair like disappearing in her hood or something. And then I started doing this Batman. This is all back in November. This Batman, pretty elongated and weird and fun. He just needs to be touched up. So those may make an appearance at some point. I wouldn't mind doing something where it's more like start to finish, so you see the process of everything fully. But this is more or less just, again, me holding myself accountable and drawing for about an hour every day. So here, I don't even really know what else I would extend off this or what I would do. A lot of times these just speak to me and they're very flowy, and I can just one face after the other. This one in particular, not so much yet. So when that happens, I find it's just kind of fun to just kind of start in. There's no kinda about it. I shouldn't even say kinda. I find it fun to just start in. So let's see. Is this? There's no kinda about it. Say kinda. I find it washed out on screen for you as it looks for me. Do I need to? Darken it. It doesn't matter. Once I throw paint, I think the camera's going to adjust and find what it's supposed to. So I'm going to just rock this with some gouache with this black paper. So this is thick. This is 140 pounds. Right? I'm trying to see. Oh, it's 184 pounds. So this is a strong enough paper to possibly keep the water from like buckling it, but I still would be pretty careful. Like what I mean by that is I would not use like a whole bunch of water. Like you have to be mindful. You have to have a set amount of water for gouache to work. But too much water and the paper's gonna curl because this is not a block. So that's just a mental note for myself. I grab a couple brushes. I think I might just use this guy again. This is a round 5 for a level 3 artist. I don't know who codes you what level. But if you're at the wrong level and you use the wrong brush, I hear that your hair catches on fire. So don't do that. I don't know. I think these 3 brushes will be fine. I use like the same 3 brushes all the time. I have 50 brushes. I use the same 3. But that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. Once you find a brush you love, it's kind of pointless to try other brushes. Unless they suit what you're doing. So let's see. I'm going to start with a blue. Going back to the old Johnny Larson ways. No one is flesh toned anymore. Tired of seeing your boring flesh tones. So this is a mix of new fresh paint. Sure, I'm just trying to think, because again, just throwing paint down is what matters first. It's like how you're going to build this all out and see where you're going with it anyway. So I'm going to use this blue for some shadow. And I'm also going to one day stop doing shadows on the bottom of noses and doing different light structure. This is all Jim Lee's fault. So yeah, just throwing some color down. Get a feel for it. And to get the groundwork laid. This will most likely, some of it's going to show, some of it isn't. Doesn't really matter. Excuse me. We use blue as the shadow. I still haven't really decided where the light's coming from. I mean, at least I guess I have here. It's coming from top. So we'll say maybe it's like from up here or something. So we'll give a little bit of shade on the side of this loop that's coming off this face. Whatever it is, we don't know. Doesn't matter. It's a morning exercise to start our day. But it's weird. It kind of, I dare say, I don't really want to say it's like pencil, but gouache does kind of have a feel to it like that when it dries. I don't know how to explain it. It feels like it can rub off of the paper. It's almost like graphite, but again, I'm pretty new to it, so yeah, that's a completely weird take. I wanted to see really quick, like get this color a little bit closer. What I'm looking at, without making it too dark. So yeah, so now we got a little bit of blue there. And because, again, this is without any planning whatsoever, I think I may just rock the primaries to start. See where it leads. Take a sip of coffee. Make sure you're properly wired. Lemon yellow. I don't know if I like lemon yellow. Seems a bit too vibrant. I'm gonna rock the permanent yellow deep next. Didn't I say I was gonna use up all this extra paint yesterday? I did. I was like, yeah, tomorrow I'm just gonna do some basic watercolor type stuff using up all this paint. Luckily, I'm the only one that watched it, so no one would be mad. So, let me go ahead and pop some yellow in here, and a yellow not going to cover as well. Looks like this is a little bit wet. Wetter than it probably should be for this paper, but that's alright. 184 pounds, you should be able to correct it like kind of easy if it does curl a little bit. Like this is pretty durable paper, probably pretty malleable. A lot of people just get the paper wet first. Also, which is just a technique I have not tried. So I don't really have room to get too crazy. But there are wet techniques, watercolor, that are mind-blowing and really cool. Alright, so yellow's interesting, to say the least. Yellow will take more than a coat if I were to want to use yellow. It looks cool though, so maybe I do. So I'm just hitting the highlights with some yellow. Again, just kind of blocking stuff out. Finding out yellow on its own is not opaque enough, so you know what, I could actually just add a little drop of white, because the pigmentation of this would like take over and make it way smoother for the sake of making it like a little bit faster as it were. So I'm mixing white with my brush, mostly because I had an art teacher who told me to never mix paint with your brush. She wasn't wrong. But she wasn't right. Let's see if this is a smoother application. It looks like it will be. It'll be a little bit lighter of a yellow, which is what I was trying to avoid in the first place, but whatever. Let me get this yellow down. Painting's weird. Pigmentation can be like very strange too. Yellows and reds are tough. So what I shouldn't say what I usually do is find ways to make them work. Like I don't fight them in their natural flaws, I guess you could say, or maybe the flaw in the way I approach them used to like upset me. I think I'm never using that medium again. Nah, man, you need to submit to that medium's will and learn it and let it take you for the ride. That's how it works. So yellow, I don't know. Maybe the primaries aren't going to be cool. But again, all you really need to do is layer your stuff. Who cares if you go over it 5 times? Who cares if this doesn't even look like this in 10 minutes? Doesn't matter. If this was bending, how would that look? It's kind of right. Be coming out like that. So I got a little bit of highlight in with this yellow, but I'm just gonna be honest, I don't like this yellow at all. It's way too bright. So maybe I would just go completely back on what I said and come up with some sort of fleshy color just for the sake of, yeah, I'm experimenting, but I don't want these experiments to take forever. Got a little bit of stuff on my plate for the day. So here I have mixed with the yellow some red from the gargoyle yesterday. I have some sort of weird brown, which actually looks really decent and lends to the effect of everything pretty quickly. Sometimes that's, again, what I like to stress is that just going through motions, man. Even if you're sitting there going, man, this looks like crap, I hate it. Or if you don't use man, if you don't say man to yourself, you just say, this looks like crap, I hate it. Just stick with it. Go over it. Again, who cares? Like, art is very fluid. We get really hung up on things not being the way we want them to be right off the bat. But that's life, right? So now I do have a little bit of a lighter kind of brown I mixed up over here. A lighter shade of brown. If you remember that hip hop group. Now I want to listen to Cruising on a Sunday afternoon. But anyway, so I rock it. So this, I mean, it's still yellowish, I guess. It's still primary-ish. Got a highlighted nose, looking kind of groovy. It's fine. See if this red from yesterday will lend any atmosphere to this. Bet it will. Just kind of mixing this up a little bit, getting a little more water to it. It's kind of pink, which is not really what I want to see, but I guess for the corner of the eye, sure. Okay, I guess adjusting that color kind of screws stuff up. Make it a little bit lighter. This stuff really, it's really fun to get this darker paper. Usually I just was using tone paper, but then I came across this. And it's just it's just kind of fun to use it for your own dastardly deeds. Okay, now this guy just has pink eye. That's not what I wanted. Before I put the whites of the eye in though, because I could use a very thin brush, but I found sometimes with a little bit of pink around the eye, if that like shows through it all, lends a little bit to it. But do as you will. I don't know why at this moment this person has realistic colored lips, but he does, and it's cool. We're gonna figure it all out. So, like I was saying, nobody's eye is just white. I mean, we do have the whites of our eyes or whatever, but I'm just saying when you're drawing or painting eyes, making them like completely white looks really off to your brain. So the viewer will not be able to place it maybe, but it does look a little bit off. Obviously, it's fun to exaggerate, and I love doing like the superhero look with just the white, empty, hollow eyes and stuff. That looks cool to our brains and stuff too. But like if you're going for realism, dragging the flesh color in, I do realize I like ruined, or not ruined, but I covered eye there. That's all right. We're gonna go back and fix that. But what I've learned is if you do like a tad bit of flesh color makes white in the eye, it looks good to your brain. Anyway, so you can use that in the future to your advantage, however you see fit. See if I can get color I like. I'm going to throw a little green into this fleshy color I got here. Let's see if this works for this. Just to cover it, give it coverage. We can do details later. You saw that gargoyle like day one, man. It looked kind of bad. Day two looked pretty cool. That green right there does not look that cool. Throw some of this weird darker red down here just to separate that nose from this face. And just when you have like a color like that, like just some random color you just mix out of nowhere, put it other places. Doesn't even matter where, just put it other places. Probably get covered. If it does show through, it's gonna look cool. All right. Maybe I ought to just go with like a lighter blue of some sort here. I don't know what this color is, but it's a little bit too fleshy for me. Dang it. Like a rosy I don't know. Rosy color would be cool. I'm just shooting for coverage right now, man. Just to see what comes of it. It looks alright. Not bad. Nothing some detail ain't gonna fix. Trying to see if I can brush out that yellow to still kind of show a little bit. Because then you just hit that with a brighter yellow. Really pull it out and get that bend in there. Sometimes the paint just works for you. Like kind of just figured out this bend for me, like without even really trying. Just the stroke itself kind of bent it all out, which is pretty rad. I don't really think I'm a fan of this gray per se, but following the rules I stated, I'm going to put it here as well. But realistically, let's find something better. I mean, honestly, even just this brown, yellow, blue looks better. It's really weird on the stream, isn't it? Maybe black on, or the gouache on black isn't good for a stream. Let's see, is this light? Thought maybe that light going out would help. Okay, so yeah, maybe it's just it'll look a little weird. Whatever, it is what it is. We'll just keep painting. I don't like that gray. So I think I might make it more of like a red. I can deal with a rosier red, even though it does fall more in line with what I already stated I am not a fan of, which is like actual flesh hue. But I feel like this is a good enough color to where it's not really gonna get that vibe. So then you start to see, you're doing this, you start to see the flaws will start to really stand out. Obviously, this is very unrefined and looks like a sloppy mess at the moment. So, at this stage, I'm still just kind of trying to fill this all in so I know what I'm working with, where my area is. That is way too wet for this paper. No, the eye is not going to be red. But for my brain, just sketch out how that's going to happen. how it's all gonna unfold. Obviously with yellow in the nose here and other highlights, gotta bring yellow back into this, or it's not gonna look correct. But again, with tons and tons of paint strokes, like nothing's ever going to look bad upon completion. It's just about spending the time, having the patience, reworking some stuff if you have to. Um, all the things you learn along the way. Alrighty. Got this filled up a little bit better. You can start to kind of see and think about what I want to do to finish it out, make it look cool. Because I always have the option as an illustrator to go in and quote unquote draw over the flaws, and it works wonderfully. I'm an incredible inker. I'm really good at line work, so it's very easy for me to go in. Like I literally can go in with a pen on this and probably make it look really good pretty quickly. But that's not the goal here. Like I have to get past that. I have very little patience with stuff that I'm good at. I've been drawing for over 40 years, so I don't really know who wouldn't be good at something if they've done it for 40 years. Because you don't really stick with stuff you're not good at, or unless it's like really soul fulfilling, which is also awesome. Yellow is not being my friend here. Yellow is always a bold choice, but you can pull it off, and sometimes you can't. We'll see. Yeah, it's a shame. This looks like this is just not capturing very well. But, it's alright. Learning experience. Which just means basically I probably just have to have a different setup when I do this, like a different camera, different lighting, something, if I were to want to use this color paper. Again, like the finished product looks so cool. The way it like jumps off the sheet. Let me show you a different example for fun. If I have my book here. Like, this is one. Just a quick painting on a gouache. I guess we can pull it out. Here's the one from yesterday. This is how this turned out from 2 days ago. So, I mean, I guess you can kind of get the gist of what it's supposed to look like with the black background, but I just don't know if it's capturing correctly. But whatever, that's fine. Life goes on, as they say. Sunny London town. Sometimes a little bit of detail will pull stuff out too. Like this nose though. This nose shoot, whatever's happening there. The fun lesson is what's happening there. Yeah, dude, yellow. Gosh darn it. No, I don't even have a paper towel. That's strange. I have one here. I guess I'll just go ahead and use it real quick because I don't want this to buckle. And yeah, you don't really ever want to do that, to be honest. That messes up the quality of the paper. But I did not realize I was grabbing a brush that, I guess, soaked up like every bit of water that ever existed. So kind of what happened there. Yeet. So yeah, this one might need to dry and come back, have me come back to it, as it were. Let me see if I can do something less crazy and frustrating. I shouldn't say it's frustrating. It is. It looks really muddy. It's not like my style of work. But that's what learning is all about, and especially like the filming of stuff and whatever. It's a learning curve. So let's see here. Just for fun, maybe I will draw a quick face or something. Or I can watercolor it some other time. I mean, this isn't bad. It can be fixed. I just know it's not coming in well for film, and what the heck? That's fine. I'm just gonna use Bic pen. You have to adjust this a little bit for drawing. Well, you can't see it, but yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and turn up the music and turn down my mic and roll this out for the next like 10 minutes or whatever. thank you for being here. And satisfied, got a little sketch done, got a little bit of gouache done, even though it didn't pick up on camera well. That's fine. That's a good test. But I hope you enjoyed the music or the art. And thank you for checking it out. Have a happy Wednesday, and I'll see you tomorrow.